So Chaucer took to writing one of the classic pillars of English. It begins with a diverse set of characters preparing to go on a pilgrimage to Canterbury.
I am a pilgrim.
The pilgrims are in a pub when it's decided that each should tell a tale along the way. But even the order they should go in presents a problem.
Well, I think I should go first.
The knight thinks he should go first because he's a knight.
Well, in my day, it was ladies first.
But then it's agreed they should draw lots. But the knight wins the draw anyway, but only because it's fiddled. After the knight's tale, there's a more serious challenge to the order. The monk prepares to go next, but...
Honestly, no, let her throw it. Now, he should have been a Trappist.
So the miller got his way. The monk had to yield to a chav, and a drunken heckling one as well. And whereas the knight's tale is full of castles and grand settings you expect to see on dramas on BBC Two with Kenneth Branagh prancing about, the miller's tale was set in a house...
with no great halls or curtained beds.
In this tale, a young woman, Alison, is married to a not very bright old carpenter, but there's a student lodging with them who fancies her.
Alison.
The student concocts a plan to get the carpenter out of the way so that he can seduce his wife. He convinces the carpenter that in a trance he's been told by God there's about to be a flood, but that the carpenter can save them if he makes them all a wooden tub, and they spend the night before the flood ready in their individual tubs. But while he's doing this, a third man enters the story, Absalom, a low-ranking clerk who the miller says has noble manners.
In gayest clothes, garnished with that and this, he first chewed a grain of licorice to charm his breath before he combed his hair.
He begs Alison for a kiss, but she doesn't want to know, so he persists. So she decides to play a trick on him.
Dark was the night as pitch and black as coal, and at the window out she put her hole. And Absalom, so fortune framed the farce, put up his mouth and kissed her naked arse.
Absalom was so insulted that he went to a blacksmith to ask to borrow the hottest implement he could find, then went back to the window to ask for another kiss, expecting Alison to do the same trick, at which point he'd sizzle her. But this time, when Alison asked Absalom to close his eyes, Nicholas decided that he'd play a better trick.
And opening the window with a jerk, stuck out his arse. A handsome piece of work. Nicholas at once let out a fart as loud as if it were a thunderclap. He was near blinded, the poor chap. But his hot iron was ready. With a thump, he smote him in the middle of his rump.
You have been listening to Super Sounds of the 1370s.
The student yells so loud for water that the carpenter wakes up thinking it's the flood and instead sees Nicholas's burning arse. But the poem isn't just about arses and debauchery. The men in the poem are aware of their status, and the student and Absalom are trying to prove that they're above the others through their use of clothes, wit or an iron.